when they led the NBA in steals by center. So that kind of defense, a little too late for Denver, down 17.
Hi, alongside Jalen Rose, I'm Robert Flores. Immediately following the Jazz and Nuggets, we'll let you know why he may not look it, but the San Antonio Spurs are sitting pretty. Manu Ginobili able to overcome a nose injury, and Paul Pierce, the truth, comes through in South Beach. That's immediately following the game.
All right, guys, here Utah on top, 103-86, looking to go up 2-1 in this series. And the NBA playoffs continue tomorrow on ESPN. The Hawks look to go up 3-0 on Milwaukee at 7 Eastern, followed by Game 4 between the Lakers and the Thunder. LA up 2-1. Oklahoma City coming off a Game 3 victory. Kevin Durant at 29 points and 19 rebounds. Today at the free throw line for Denver. Utah, as you said, one of the best passing teams in the NBA, and that's backed up by that number, 27 assists, just 10 for Denver. And then you look at the fact Utah's got only 6 turnovers, 14 by Denver.
27 assists with 6 turnovers. That's just execution. And you look at Denver, you know, they're an isolation team. If they're not getting transition opportunities, they're not going to get a ton of assists. And they haven't been running tonight because Utah's been so efficient offensively.
16-point game, 2:40 on the clock. Boozer got inside of Nene. He picks up the foul, and Boozer will go to the free throw line. 4 on Nene. Well, we've talked a lot tonight about what Denver hasn't done as Petro and Allen and Carter come in for the Nuggets along with Graham. And you talked some of what Utah has done in the form of Darren Williams. And how about, again, the quote role players for Utah? Paul Millsap, 22 points, 18 rebounds. Korver with 8 points off the bench. They got good minutes from Ronnie Price, even though he didn't score.
The 14 out of Wes Matthews, 10 points out of Miles. You know, everybody contributing. Pasenko gave him great minutes because what you really, any offense you get out of Pasenko is a bonus. He's 4 for 6 from the field, 9 points, gave you 5 rebounds and activity. And he made you pay. The same thing that I was talking about the Denver Nuggets front line did not do. That's what Pasenko did. Made him pay for double teaming Boozer and Williams in that pick and roll situation.
19 rebounds now for Millsap after getting that missed free throw. Petro knocked it out of bounds. 6 to shoot for Utah. 25 points for Chauncey Billups, but his night is done. He told us earlier today he was going to be more aggressive, and he was. But not enough. Neither was Anthony's 25. As Boozer is fouled by Petro.
If Paul Millsap was the story in this one. Jazz fell behind early, and he came off the bench along with Korver, and they really just ignited the crowd. And Paul Millsap, 9 for 9, 8 in a row in the second quarter, and he just attacked anybody that was in front of him. 18 rebounds as well, and as he comes out of the game, he gets a well-deserved standing ovation because I felt he was the difference in this game, digging the Jazz out of that hole early, and they never looked back once his energy got that team the lead.
Now, Boozer was really struggling earlier in the game offensively, and Millsap came in and stepped up, and when they went to that small lineup and kept Millsap and Boozer out there together, Millsap really excelled.
Utah Jazz, of all the 16 teams in the postseason through the first couple of games, they lead all playoff teams in bench scoring. And you saw it again tonight. That's why now, granted, they do have, in my mind, a starter in Paul Millsap coming off your bench. But that's his role. And what a luxury Jerry Sloan has to have a guy like that come in and really lift your team.
Grant misses a 3. And with Millsap getting 19 rebounds, he ties Kevin Durant for the most in a single game so far in the playoffs. Durant putting that up in Game 3, and the Thunder's win over the Lakers last night in New York City. Game 4 tomorrow night on ESPN. Petro swats Kufis' shot out of play. Pasenko back on the floor. Jeffers will enter the game. Boozer to the bench. 18 points, just 6 of 18 from the field for Carlos Boozer, yet Utah is going to win.
Just domination on the part of the Utah Jazz front line. You look at between Millsap, Boozer, Pasenko, 49 points they gave him up front. Look at Kenyon Martin and Nene and Chris Anderson combined for 15. I mean, that's really where this game was won, down inside the paint.
Missed by Gaines, and Matthews still hustling. Gets to the loose ball in the backcourt. What is the biggest thing that has to change for Denver in order to win Game 4 on the road?
I think the biggest thing is they've got to be much more aggressive and active on the glass and defensively in the paint and just offer more resistance. The Utah Jazz got to the rim when they wanted to, and they didn't answer the punch that Utah threw at them in the second quarter. You've got to understand, in this building, the Utah Jazz are going to have 2 or 3 runs a game that can just knock the wind out of you that you can't recover from. You've got to withstand it. Keep those runs to a maybe 6 or 8 point deficit during that stretch and not let it become a 14, 16 point run, and you've got a chance, and then respond and execute offensively. So they've got a lot of things to clean up. This team's averaging 118 points a game in the first 2 games, and now here they are with 87 with a minute left.
Graham puts it in, and a foul. Well, Denver led 27-16. And remember, Utah got a couple baskets late in the first quarter, including a Wes Matthews 3 with 1/10 of a second left. And that shifted momentum. Utah carried that into the second quarter, ended up with a 4-point lead at the half, led 84-68 after 3, and get a win going away here in the fourth. Working on Petro. And Jeffers could not save it against Denver basketball. Utah will take a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 on Sunday here in Salt Lake City. Game 5 will be Wednesday back at the Pepsi Center in Denver. No sweeps in the West, while we could have several in the East. With Boston beating Miami tonight, Game 4 on ABC Sunday between the Celtics and Heat. That's the first of 2 games on ABC on Sunday. It all starts with GMC Sierra NBA Countdown. 12:30 Eastern, followed by Celtics and Heat, Game 4. And then Game 4 between Cleveland and Chicago, as LeBron and company look to go up 3-1 in that series after losing Game 3 last night.
Now, you mentioned how lopsided some of the series could be in the Eastern Conference. Don't you think that some of those other teams are sitting back? You watch Boston get up 3-0. They got Cleveland looking at them in the next round. The last thing the Cavaliers want is to extend that series with Chicago, so it puts pressure on other teams. If you have a chance to wrap up your series early, you could have a lot of series over in the East, and these Western Conference series all could be going 6-7 games.
You think Charlotte, though, is going to challenge Orlando?
I think they're going to give them a great Game 3. I would not be surprised if they got Game 3. Ultimately, Orlando just has a little bit too much for that team. They're too good at both ends, and that should be a 5-game series, but I would not be surprised if Charlotte came out and got that third game.
Lawson with a basket for Denver. 9 points for Ty Lawson. Utah got 24 from Williams, 22 points and 19 rebounds from Millsap. 18 from Boozer and 14 from Wes Matthews, including maybe the game-changing basket at the end of the first quarter with a 3 with 1/10 of a second left. And Utah, a team that many thought was done after the injuries to Kirilenko and Okur, now leads Denver 2-1. Phillips and Anthony with 25 apiece for Denver. The Nuggets really struggled in the second half offensively. Darren Williams did not. He really took off in the second half, and he's standing by with Holly Rowe.
Well, it was a close game at halftime. What changed for you guys in the second half?
Better defense. We executed a lot better. Played Jazz basketball.
What did you think of Paul Millsap's performance off the bench?
He carried us in the first half. You know, he kept us in the game with his scoring, with his rebounding. You know, he didn't score much in that second half, but he still made his presence felt with his defense and his rebounding. You know, definitely to start this game.
You guys held them double digits under their season high tonight. What do you guys have to do in the next game defensively?
Same thing. You know, just try to get stops. Try to make things as tough as possible for Melo. You know, make him work for his baskets.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Holly, well, the confetti is flying here in Salt Lake City, but there's still 2 more wins to go for Utah. At Game 4, Sunday, Denver, you would think, would be ready. That game on TNT Sunday night. Phoenix, Portland, Game 4 of that series tomorrow. The Suns routed the Blazers in Game 3. San Antonio and Dallas, the Spurs up 2-1. A game on ESPN earlier tonight, San Antonio beating the Mavs. Oklahoma City and the Lakers, Game 4 tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern. 105-93 the final tonight. Great night for Williams. 24 points, 10 assists as Utah now leads the series 2-1. NBA Fast Break is coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Tim Legler, Holly Rowe, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Pasch. So long from Salt Lake City. 2-1. Jazz lead the Nuggets in this best-of-7 first-round series.